The night arrives slowly in the medieval village, not all at once, but gently, as if it is careful not to wake anyone. The sky does not change suddenly. Instead, the blue fades into a softer shade, then into gray, and finally into a deep, calm darkness. There is no drama in the sky tonight, no storms, no strange lights, just a few quiet clouds drifting without purpose. The village rests in a shallow valley, surrounded by low hills covered in grass and old trees. The trees are not tall or impressive. They have grown here for many years and have learned to stay still, even when the wind passes through them. Their leaves move only slightly, making a soft, almost unnoticeable sound. At the center of the village stands a stone well. It has been there longer than anyone remembers. The stones are smooth from time and weather. During the day, villagers come here to draw water. At night, the well does nothing at all. It simply exists, quietly, holding cool water deep below the ground. A narrow road curves past the well and continues between small wooden houses. The road is made of packed dirt and old stones. No one is walking on it now. There are no footsteps, no carts, no animals passing through. The road is empty, and it seems comfortable being that way. Most of the houses have small windows. Warm light glows behind a few of them, but even that light is gentle and dim. Candles flicker slowly, not in a hurry. Inside, people are finishing their evenings. Some are sitting, some are lying down. No one is rushing. Near the edge of the village, an old baker closes the wooden shutters of his shop. He does not lock the door loudly. He moves carefully, quietly, as if the night itself is listening. He has baked bread today, as he does every day. The smell of bread still lingers faintly in the air, mixing with the cool scent of earth. The baker pauses for a moment, looking at the sky. He does not think about anything important. He simply notices that it is dark now. Then he turns and walks home at a slow, steady pace. Each step is unhurried. He has nowhere else to be. A small cat sits on a low stone wall nearby. The cat is not hunting. It is not alert. It is simply sitting, watching nothing in particular. Its tail moves once, then becomes still again. The cat blinks slowly and seems content to remain exactly where it is. Farther down the road, a lantern hangs outside a quiet inn. The light inside the lantern is soft and steady. It does not swing. There is no wind strong enough to move it. The innkeeper has already cleaned the tables and swept the floor. Everything is ready for morning, even though morning feels very far away. Inside the inn, a single traveler sleeps in an upstairs room. The traveler arrived earlier in the day, ate a simple meal, and went to bed without telling any stories. There was nothing remarkable about the journey. The traveler does not dream of adventure. The traveler dreams of rest. Outside, the village clock tower marks the hour with a low, distant sound. The bell is not loud. It does not echo dramatically. It simply lets the village know that time is passing, slowly and calmly, as it always does. The sound fades, and the night returns to quiet. A narrow path leads away from the village and toward the fields. The fields stretch gently into the darkness. During the day, crops grow here in neat rows. At night, the fields are just shapes and shadows. They do not move. They do not hide anything. A wooden fence runs along the edge of one field. The fence is old, but strong enough. It does not creak. It does not sway. It stands, doing its simple job without complaint. The farmer's house sits quietly at the edge of the fields, its roof dark against the night sky. A thin line of smoke rises from the chimney, barely visible, drifting upward and disappearing without effort. Inside, the farmer has already finished his simple supper. He washed his hands, set his bowl aside, and sat for a while without speaking. Now he rests, listening to the soft sounds of the night, which are very few. The fire in his hearth burns low. It does not crackle loudly. It gives off a steady warmth and a faint orange glow. The farmer adds one small piece of wood, carefully, so the sound is gentle. He watches the flame for a moment, then looks away. There is nothing else he needs to do. Across the village, a narrow stream moves slowly between stones. The water does not rush. It glides quietly, reflecting small pieces of moonlight. A leaf floats on the surface, drifting without direction, turning once before continuing on. The stream has flowed this way for many years and expects to continue doing so. A wooden bridge crosses the stream. It is simple and low, made of planks worn smooth with time. No one crosses at night. The bridge rests, unused, perfectly content to remain still. An owl sits on the branch of an old tree near the stream. The owl does not call out. It simply watches, eyes half closed, feathers unmoving. The owl has nothing urgent to do. It waits, comfortably, in the quiet. Back in the center of the village, the well remains unchanged. The rope and bucket hang neatly, unmoving. The stone rim feels cool to the night air. If anyone were to draw water now, it would be ready, but no one does. A gentle breeze passes through the village, barely strong enough to notice. It moves the grass slightly and touches the edges of rooftops. It carries no message. It does not stay long. Inside one small house, a woman finishes folding a piece of cloth. She places it on a wooden table, straightens it once more, and then sits down. She does not feel tired or energized. She simply feels calm. The candle beside her burns evenly, its flame steady. She listens for a moment. There are no voices outside, no footsteps, just the faint sound of the breeze and the distant stream. Satisfied, she blows out the candle. Darkness fills the room softly, without surprise. In another house, a child sleeps deeply, breathing slow and even. The child dreamed earlier, but now rests without dreams. The night holds the house gently, keeping it quiet and safe. The village street remains empty. The stones are cool beneath the moonlight. Shadows rest where they fall and do not move. At the edge of the village, a small barn stands with its doors closed. Inside, animals sleep peacefully. They shift only slightly, settling more comfortably in the straw. There is no noise beyond a soft breath or a gentle movement. Time continues to pass, but it does not announce itself. The stars remain fixed in their places, shining faintly. The moon moves slowly, almost imperceptibly across the sky. A night watchman walks once along the outer path of the village. His steps are slow and measured. He carries a lantern, but the light is low. He is not looking for trouble. There is none to find. He pauses once, listens, then continues on. Satisfied, the watchman returns to his small shelter near the gate. He sets the lantern down and sits on a bench. He does not think about the past or the future. He simply rests, knowing the village is quiet. Beyond the hills, the world continues, but it feels very far away. Here in this small medieval village, nothing changes quickly. Nothing demands attention. The night grows deeper, and the silence grows softer, wrapping the village in calm. Every house, every road, every field remains exactly as it should be. And so the village sleeps, gently and completely, while time moves on without hurry. The quiet does not feel empty. It feels full in a gentle way, as if the village is holding its breath but does not mind doing so. Somewhere far beyond the fields, a dog shifts in its sleep and then becomes still again. The sound is so faint it almost never existed. The moonlight slowly changes the shapes of the rooftops. Edges soften, corners blur slightly. Nothing new appears, nothing disappears. The village simply looks a little different as time passes. Near one of the smaller houses, a wooden door creaks softly as it settles into the cool night air. The sound is brief and unimportant. It does not wake anyone. The door remains closed, doing exactly what it is meant to do. A clay pot rests beside the door, empty and clean. During the day, it held water. Tonight, it holds only shadow. The shadow does not move. In the fields, the crops stand quietly. Leaves overlap one another, forming dark patterns that remain unchanged. A beetle crawls slowly along a stem, then stops, unsure if it needs to go any farther. After a moment, it stays where it is. The stream continues its patient movement. Water slides around stones it has known for years. Each stone fits perfectly into the flow. There is no splashing, only a soft, steady sound that blends easily into the night. A second leaf joins the first on the surface of the water. They drift close together for a while, then gently move apart without effort or intention. The bridge remains silent above them, its wooden planks cool as the air grows slightly colder. The bridge has nothing to carry tonight, and it accepts this calmly. In a house near the stream, an old man sleeps in a simple bed. His breathing is slow and even. His hands rest comfortably at his sides. He does not dream of the past or worry about tomorrow. Sleep has found him easily. The candle in his room burned out some time ago. The wick rests in a small pool of wax. The room is dark, but not unfamiliar. Every shape belongs where it is. Outside, the path beside the house curves gently and disappears into shadow. It leads nowhere urgent. It will still be there in the morning. At the edge of the village gate, the night watchman shifts his position on the bench. He stretches once, slowly, and then relaxes again. The lantern beside him gives off a faint glow. He watches it for a moment, then looks away. He listens to the silence, not because he expects to hear something, but because listening feels natural. After a while, he closes his eyes, still awake, but resting. Time passes in small, unremarkable ways. A cloud moves across the moon, dimming the light for a few moments before drifting onward. The moonlight returns, unchanged. On a low hill nearby, grass bends slightly as the breeze returns for a brief visit. It touches the ground softly, then leaves, having done very little. In the barn, one animal shifts its weight and sighs. Another responds by settling deeper into the straw. The barn remains warm and quiet. The smell of hay mixes with the faint scent of wood and earth. These smells do not travel far. They stay close, content to remain where they are. In the inn, the traveler turns once in bed, and then becomes still again. The blanket moves slightly, and then rests. The room holds its quiet. Downstairs, the tables stand neatly arranged. Chairs are pushed in. The floor is clean. Everything waits patiently for morning, without expectation. The hour bell does not ring again just yet. Time continues without announcement. In a small courtyard between two houses, a bucket catches a drop of water from a leaky roof. The drop falls, makes a soft sound, and then nothing more happens. The bucket waits for another drop, which does not come for a long while. The stars remain steady. They do not flicker noticeably. They simply shine, as they always do. In one quiet room, a woman breathes slowly as sleep deepens. Her thoughts have faded. The day has fully released her. The village road curves gently toward the hills, empty and calm. No footsteps approach.
No carts return late. The road rests under the open sky. Beyond the fields, the hills form dark outlines against the night. They do not move. They do not change. The night grows cooler by a small degree. Windows remain closed. Blankets remain tucked in place. The village adjusts without effort. Nothing calls out. Nothing answers. The medieval village remains exactly as it is, quiet and untroubled, as the night continues on, slowly and peacefully.
The silence settles a little deeper, not heavier, just more complete. It feels as if the village has accepted the night fully and no longer needs to adjust. Everything that might have moved has already found a comfortable position. A single window reflects the moonlight faintly. The glass is old and slightly uneven, causing the light to bend gently. The reflection does not flicker. It remains steady until a cloud drifts by, softening it for a moment. Inside that house, a table sits near the wall. On it rests a wooden bowl and a cup turned upside down. They have been cleaned and left to dry. There is no need to move them again tonight. The floor beneath the table is cool. The room smells faintly of wood and clean water. The air is still. Outside, the grass near the road leans slightly toward the ground. Dew begins to form on the blades, slowly and quietly. Each drop appears without sound, catching just a hint of light. The road itself remains unchanged. Small stones press firmly into the earth, held in place by years of use. Tonight they feel no weight at all. At the well, the bucket sways just enough to be noticed, then becomes completely still again. The rope rests against the stone edge, relaxed. The well does not echo. It does not respond. It simply holds the cool darkness within it. Farther away, the stream continues its steady motion. The water level is calm. The surface smooths as the breeze fades. Reflections stretch and then settle. A fish beneath the surface moves once, slowly, and then stops. The water closes gently around it, leaving no trace of movement. The bridge above remains quiet. The wood has cooled further, matching the temperature of the night air. It does not creak or complain. In the fields, rows of crops stand evenly spaced. Their shadows overlap, forming repeating patterns that do not change. The soil beneath them rests, dark and undisturbed. A scarecrow stands near the far edge of one field. Its clothes hang loosely, unmoving. It watches nothing and guards nothing in particular. It has done its job simply by standing there. Near the barn, the smell of animals and straw remains soft and familiar. Inside, breathing continues at an easy pace. No animal wakes fully. A mouse moves quietly along the edge of the barn wall, pauses, and then slips back into shadow. It leaves no sound behind. In the inn, the lantern near the door has been turned down low. Its light barely reaches the floor. The door remains closed, steady on its hinges. Upstairs, the traveler's breathing remains slow. The rhythm does not change. The night passes without disturbing it. The innkeeper sleeps in a small room behind the kitchen. His hands rest on his chest. His thoughts have faded completely. Outside again, the watchman opens his eyes briefly and looks at the sky. He notes the position of the moon without interest. He closes his eyes once more, satisfied. Time continues, unnoticed. A faint sound of fabric shifting comes from one house as someone turns in sleep. The sound fades immediately. The house returns to stillness. The courtyard bucket receives another drop of water. It lands softly and joins the first. The surface inside the bucket becomes still again. Clouds thin slightly, allowing more starlight to reach the village.
The stars do not appear brighter, they simply appear. The hills beyond the fields remain dark shapes. They do not draw closer, they do not retreat. The air cools just enough for breath to feel slightly sharper, then stabilizes. Windows remain closed, doors remain shut. Nothing signals danger, nothing signals change. The medieval village continues to rest, fully settled into the night, as time moves forward in its slow, quiet way.
The night holds steady, neither deepening nor lifting, simply remaining. The air feels settled now, as if it has found the exact temperature it prefers. Nothing cools further, nothing warms. A faint smell of damp earth rises gently from the ground near the fields. It does not travel far. It stays close to the soil, familiar and calm. Near the well, a small pebble rests against the stone edge. It has been there for a long time. Tonight, it remains exactly where it is, pressed lightly into place. The road nearby shows no sign of movement. Dust lies undisturbed. The curved shape of the path looks the same as it did earlier, only softer under the moonlight. One shutter on a house shifts slightly as the wood adjusts to the cool air. The movement is slow and almost silent. When it stops, the shutter rests comfortably against the wall. Inside that house, a clock made of wood and simple gears marks time quietly. Its movement is gentle and regular. The sound is too soft to be noticed unless one listens closely, which no one does. The room around the clock remains still. A chair stands near the table. A cloak hangs from a hook. None of them move. Outside again, the breeze returns briefly, lighter than before. It touches the tops of the grasses and passes over the road without lifting any dust. After a moment, it fades away. The grasses straighten slowly and then remain still. By the stream, moonlight stretches across the water, forming a long, pale reflection. The surface barely ripples. The reflection holds its shape. A small insect skims the surface once, barely touching the water, then disappears into the darkness. The water closes smoothly behind it. The stones along the stream bed remain cool and dark. Algae cling softly to their sides. Nothing disturbs it. The wooden bridge casts a simple shadow across the water. The shadow does not move. In the barn, an animal exhales slowly, a long breath that ends in quiet. Straw shifts just enough to settle more comfortably beneath its weight. The smell inside the barn remains unchanged. Warmth stays close to the animals, held gently by the wooden walls. Near the barn door, a rope hangs loosely from a hook. It does not sway. It rests. At the inn, the lantern flame lowers slightly as the oil burns down. The light grows softer, but remains steady. No one notices the change. The inn door stays firmly closed. The wood feels cool to the touch, though no one touches it. Upstairs, the traveler's chest rises and falls at an even pace. The rhythm remains consistent. Sleep holds firm. The blanket shifts only once as the traveler adjusts, then becomes still again. In the kitchen below, pots and bowls sit neatly on a shelf. Their surfaces catch no light. They wait quietly. Outside, the watchman remains seated, his posture relaxed, his shoulders loose. He breathes slowly, matching the calm of the village. He does not stand. There is no reason to. The lantern beside him hums faintly, a sound barely present. The glass remains warm. A cloud drifts slowly across the moon once more. The light dims gently, evenly, without surprise. The village accepts the softer light without change. When the cloud moves on, the moonlight returns just as quietly as it left. Farther out, the fields stretch into shadow. The rows remain straight.
The earth beneath them holds its shape. A distant tree on the hill stands alone. Its branches do not sway. Leaves rest against one another. The outline of the hills remains smooth and dark against the sky. Near one of the smaller houses, a sleeping person turns slightly. The mattress responds with a soft shift, then settles. Breathing continues, unbroken. The room holds the sound and then releases it. The candle stub on the table remains unlit. Wax has cooled completely. The wick is still. Outside, dew continues to form slowly along the edges of leaves and blades of grass. Each drop appears without movement. The road reflects faint points of light where moisture has settled. The reflections do not flicker. The well remains unchanged. Darkness inside it stays deep and cool. The rope rests exactly where it was left, neither tightening nor loosening. The village clock does not announce the hour. Time continues quietly. The air feels slightly heavier now, not uncomfortable, just full. In the courtyard, the bucket receives another slow drip. The sound is soft and brief. The surface inside smooths again. Nothing follows the sound. The stars remain in their places, steady and distant. The night does not ask for attention. The medieval village remains calm and settled, continuing exactly as it is, moment by moment, without change.
The stillness remains consistent, as if it has reached a balance that requires no further adjustment. The night does not deepen or retreat. It simply stays. Near the edge of the road, a patch of grass leans slightly toward the ground, weighed gently by dew. The blades touch one another and remain that way, connected by moisture and quiet. A stone set into the road holds warmth from the day, though only faintly now. The warmth fades slowly, evenly, without any sudden change. The houses along the road appear unchanged. Roof lines sit calmly against the dark sky. Chimneys release no new smoke. The air around them is clear. Inside one house, a wooden shelf holds several folded cloths. The edges are straight. The fabric does not shift. It rests neatly, exactly as it was placed. A low table stands beneath the shelf. Its surface shows faint marks from years of use. Tonight, it holds nothing at all. In another room nearby, a door remains slightly open. Darkness fills the space beyond it. No sound passes through. Outside again, the faint outline of the village gate remains visible. The wood is old but steady. The hinges do not move. Beyond the gate, the path stretches outward into darkness. It does not invite travel. It simply exists. The watchman's lantern continues to glow softly. The flame remains stable, neither brightening nor dimming noticeably. The glass holds the light gently. The watchman shifts his weight slightly on the bench. The movement is slow and careful. When he settles again, his posture feels more comfortable. He breathes out once, quietly, then continues breathing at the same calm pace. The bench beneath him does not creak. The wood accepts the weight without sound. Across the village, the inn remains silent. The walls hold warmth inside. The windows show no movement. Upstairs, the traveler's breathing remains unchanged. Each breath follows the last with easy regularity. The pillow beneath the traveler's head stays in place. The fabric remains smooth. Downstairs, the floorboards are cool. No footsteps cross them. Near the kitchen door, a broom leans against the wall. Its bristles rest evenly on the floor. It does not fall. Outside, the courtyard stones appear darker now, damp with dew. Their surfaces reflect faint light without distortion. The bucket beneath the roof edge remains still.
No new drop falls for a long while. The quiet stretches comfortably around it. In the fields, the crops stand unchanged. The soil between rows remains dark and soft. No animal moves through it. A low fence marks the boundary between field and path. The posts remain upright. The rails sit firmly in place. Beyond the fields, the hills remain still silhouettes. Their shapes are familiar and steady. The tree on the hilltop remains unmoving. Its branches hold their positions. Leaves overlap without sound. Back near the stream, the water flows at the same slow pace. The surface remains smooth. Reflections remain clear. A small ripple forms briefly near the bank, then fades. The water returns to stillness. The stones beneath the water do not shift. They remain exactly where they have always been. The bridge above the stream holds its shadow. The shadow stretches evenly across the water. No footstep crosses the bridge. In the barn, breathing continues. One animal adjusts slightly, then becomes still again. The straw settles softly beneath it. The barn walls hold the quiet inside. No sound escapes. Near the barn door, the latch remains secure. The wood around it feels cool. In one of the houses near the center of the village, a sleeper exhales slowly and then pauses briefly before breathing in again. The rhythm remains calm. The bed frame does not move. The floor beneath it stays quiet. A curtain near the window hangs straight. It does not stir. Outside, the moonlight shifts almost imperceptibly as the moon continues its slow path. The change is gentle enough to go unnoticed. The stars remain steady points of light. They do not flicker. The road curves away from the village, empty and undisturbed. No sound follows it. The well remains at the center, unchanged. The stone rim holds its shape. The darkness inside stays cool. The rope remains relaxed against the stone. The bucket does not move. The air feels calm and complete, as if nothing more could be added or taken away. The medieval village continues in this state, unbroken and unhurried, moment by moment, without shift or interruption.
The quiet holds its shape, unchanged, as if it has settled into a form that feels complete. Nothing presses against it. Nothing pulls away. Near the road, a shallow indentation in the earth collects a thin layer of moisture. The surface becomes smooth and dark. It reflects a small piece of sky, and then nothing more. A loose stone beside the indentation remains untouched. It does not roll or shift. It rests where it has rested. The houses continue to stand without movement. Their walls absorb the night air gently. No sound escapes from within them. Inside one house, a simple wooden chest sits at the foot of a bed. Its lid remains closed. The hinges do not move. A folded blanket rests neatly on top of the chest. The fabric shows no crease changing. It stays exactly as it was left. In the same room, a pair of shoes sit side by side near the door. The leather is worn smooth. They do not tilt or fall. Outside again, the edge of the road blends softly into the grass. The boundary is clear, but gentle. Nothing crosses it. The watchman remains seated, his presence quiet and steady. His breathing continues at an even pace. His hands rest loosely. The lantern beside him gives off the same low glow. The flame does not waver. The light remains contained. He does not look around. There is no need. Across the village, the inn remains closed and calm. The sign above the door hangs straight. It does not sway. The walls of the inn hold the warmth inside.
The windows remain dark. Upstairs, the traveler's breathing continues unchanged. Each breath follows the next without pause or effort. The mattress beneath the traveler holds its shape. The fabric does not shift. Below, the empty room remains still. The tables and chairs wait without expectation. Outside, the courtyard stones remain cool. Dew settles further, forming a thin sheen across their surfaces. The bucket beneath the roof edge stays quiet. The surface of the water inside remains smooth. No sound follows. In the fields, the rows of crops remain evenly spaced. The leaves overlap gently. Shadows stay where they are. The soil beneath the plants holds moisture and warmth. It does not shift or settle further. A low fence continues to mark the edge of the field. Its posts remain upright. The wood shows no movement. Beyond the fence, the path remains empty. No step presses into it. The hills beyond remain dark and steady. Their outlines do not change. The tree on the hill stands quietly. Its branches hold their positions. Leaves touch lightly. Back near the stream, the water continues its slow movement. The surface reflects moonlight evenly. A faint ripple appears near a stone and fades immediately. The water smooths again. The stones beneath the surface remain fixed. They do not shift or settle. The bridge above the stream continues to cast its shadow. The shadow remains still. No sound crosses the bridge. In the barn, warmth remains steady. Breathing continues softly. Straw compresses slightly beneath resting bodies and then holds its shape. The latch on the barn door stays secure. The wood around it remains cool. In a house near the center of the village, a sleeper shifts one hand slightly and then becomes still again. Breathing remains slow and even. The room accepts the movement and then returns to complete quiet. A curtain near the window hangs straight. The fabric does not stir. Outside, moonlight remains soft and consistent. The sky holds its color. The stars remain distant and steady. The road curves gently away from the village. No sound follows it. The well at the center remains unchanged. The stone rim stays cool. The darkness inside remains deep. The rope rests against the stone, relaxed. The bucket does not move. The air feels settled and complete, as if nothing more could be added. The medieval village continues in this calm state, moment by moment, without interruption, without change. The calm does not thin or fade. It remains present, evenly spread across the village, touching each place without emphasis. Nothing feels closer or farther away. Near the edge of the road, a shallow groove left by an old cartwheel holds a trace of moisture. The dampness darkens the earth slightly. The shape of the groove remains unchanged. A small clump of grass grows beside it, blades leaning inward. They touch gently and remain that way. The houses continue to rest along the road. Their wooden frames feel settled. No boards expand or contract enough to make sound. Inside one house, a shelf holds a clay jug. The jug is empty and clean. Its surface reflects no light. It does not move. Beside the jug, a folded cloth lies flat. The edges remain aligned. The cloth rests patiently. A chair stands near the wall. Its legs press firmly into the floor. It does not tilt or shift. Outside again, the road curves gently toward the fields. The curve remains smooth and familiar. No sound travels along it. The watchman continues to sit quietly. His posture remains relaxed. His breathing stays slow and even. The lantern beside him gives off the same steady glow. The oil burns without flicker. The glass stays warm. He remains awake, though resting. There is nothing he needs to watch. Across the village, the inn remains unchanged. The door stays closed. The sign above it hangs straight. The walls of the inn hold the quiet inside. No sound escapes through the windows. Upstairs, the traveler remains asleep. The rise and fall of the chest continues at the same calm pace. The blanket rests lightly, following the shape beneath it. Downstairs, the empty room remains orderly. Chairs remain pushed in. Tables remain clean. Near the kitchen, a small window reflects faint moonlight. The reflection does not move. Outside, the courtyard stones remain cool and slightly damp. Their surfaces feel smooth under the night air. The bucket beneath the roof edge remains still. The water inside reflects darkness. No new sound appears. In the fields, the crops continue to stand quietly. Leaves overlap gently. Shadows remain layered. The soil beneath holds moisture evenly. No cracks form. No movement occurs. A fence marks the boundary between field and path. The posts remain upright. The rails stay aligned. Beyond the fence, the path stretches outward. It remains empty and quiet. The hills beyond continue to form dark shapes against the sky. Their outlines remain steady. The tree on the hill remains still. Branches do not sway. Leaves touch softly. Near the stream, the water continues its slow movement. The surface remains smooth. A faint shimmer of moonlight stretches across it, unchanged. A stone near the bank rests partly in water, partly out. The boundary remains clear. The bridge above continues to cast its shadow. The shadow remains steady. No footstep crosses the bridge. In the barn, warmth remains contained. Breathing continues softly and evenly. Straw settles slightly under weight and then holds still. The latch on the barn door remains secure. The wood around it feels cool. In a nearby house, a sleeper's breathing remains steady. The sound is barely audible. The bed frame holds firm. The floor beneath remains silent. A curtain near the window hangs straight. It does not move. Outside, moonlight remains soft and consistent. Clouds do not pass. The stars remain fixed and distant. The road through the village remains empty. No step presses into it. The well at the center remains unchanged. The stone rim stays cool. The darkness inside remains deep. The rope rests against the stone. The bucket remains still. The air feels settled and balanced, as if nothing more could change. The medieval village continues in this quiet state, unbroken and calm, moment by moment, without interruption or shift. The quiet holds its place without effort. It does not deepen, and it does not thin. It simply remains, resting across the village as evenly as moonlight on stone. Near the edge of the road, where dust meets grass, the ground feels cool and settled. The grains of soil stay pressed together. Nothing shifts beneath them. A narrow footprint from earlier in the day remains faint and unchanged. Its edges are soft, not sharp, and they do not fade further. The air carries no scent beyond itself. It feels clean and still, balanced in every direction. A low wall near one house holds the night gently. The stones feel smooth where they meet. Mortar lines remain thin and quiet. On top of the wall, a small flat stone rests where it has always rested. It does not tilt, it does not warm or cool noticeably. Behind the wall, a garden bed remains orderly. Dark soil lies flat. Leaves overlap without movement. A wooden trellis stands above the plants. Its thin slats cast faint shadows that do not change. Nearby, a clay pot sits empty. Its rim is smooth. Its interior holds darkness without depth. The house beside the garden remains silent. Its windows reflect nothing more than the steady night. Inside, the floorboards remain firm. They do not creak. They do not answer to weight or sound. A folded cloth rests on a bench. The fabric remains soft and undisturbed. A shelf above the bench holds small objects arranged carefully. None shift, none fall. Outside again, the path leading past the house stays clear. Small stones embedded in the dirt remain exactly where they are. The path curves gently toward the well. The curve feels familiar and unchanging. At the well, the stone rim remains cool. Moisture rests lightly on its surface without dripping. The darkness inside the well stays complete. No sound rises from it. The wooden handle remains still. The rope remains slack. Across the square, the open space remains empty. No footsteps cross it. No sound enters. The watchman remains seated where he has been. His posture does not change. His presence feels steady and unremarkable. The lantern's glow remains soft, neither brightening nor dimming. Shadows remain gentle. No thought disturbs the moment. No memory rises. Farther away, the outer houses remain settled. Roof tiles lie flat and secure. A chimney stands cool, without smoke or warmth. A shutter rests closed against a wall. Its hinges remain silent. A narrow alley between two houses remains dark but open. The ground there remains even. No wind moves through the space. The air remains held. Beyond the houses, the fields remain wide and still. Rows of crops hold their alignment. Leaves touch lightly but do not move. The earth beneath remains dark and calm. It holds the day's warmth quietly. A wooden post marking the field's edge stands straight. Its surface feels worn but solid. A rope tied to the post hangs loosely. It does not sway. Beyond the fields, the gentle slope of land rises toward the hills. The incline remains smooth and unchanged. The hills keep their outlines. They do not shift against the sky. The sky itself remains open and quiet. Stars remain steady, distant and unblinking. No cloud passes between them. Near the stream, the water continues its slow, even movement. Its surface reflects light softly. Ripples remain shallow and consistent. They do not break or scatter. The stones beneath the water remain visible and still. Along the bank, reeds stand upright. Their thin stems do not bend. The bridge above the stream remains empty. Its wooden planks feel firm and cool. No step presses against them. Beyond the bridge, the path remains unused. Its surface stays smooth. In the barn, warmth remains contained. Breathing continues quietly and evenly. Animals remain at rest. No sound escapes them. Straw remains pressed into place, holding its shape. The barn door remains closed. The latch does not move. Inside the houses, sleepers remain undisturbed. Breathing remains slow and calm. Beds remain steady. Floors remain silent. Curtains hang straight. They do not stir. The night continues exactly as it is, without effort, without change, without interruption, holding the village in the same gentle stillness, moment after moment, as nothing asks to happen and nothing needs to.
The stillness remains complete, resting evenly across every surface and space. It does not gather, and it does not release. It simply stays. Near the edge of the square, a wooden cart rests beside a wall. One wheel touches the ground lightly. The spokes remain aligned. The wood feels dry and settled. The cart's handle points outward, unmoving. Its shadow lies thin and unchanged. Beside it, a coil of rope rests loosely. Each loop keeps its shape. The fibers do not tighten or relax. The wall behind the cart holds faint warmth from the day. Stones remain smooth and cool where the warmth has faded. A small crack between two stones remains narrow and dark. Nothing grows there, nothing falls away. Above the wall, a roof edge extends into the night. Tiles sit firmly, overlapping in quiet order. No sound comes from beneath them. The air along the wall feels even. It does not drift or press. A narrow window nearby reflects only darkness. No light appears within. Inside the house, the room remains unchanged. A table stands at the center. Its surface remains clear. A bowl rests upside down on the table. Its rim touches the wood gently. A chair stands pushed in. Its legs remain steady against the floor. Nothing stirs the room. Outside, the road continues past the houses. The surface remains smooth, worn flat by time. Small stones embedded in the road catch faint light. They do not shine or dull further. The road bends slightly toward the outer edge of the village. The bend remains familiar and calm. Along the road, a low fence runs parallel. The posts stand straight. The rails remain even. No hand touches them. Beyond the fence, grass lies pressed flat in places, taller in others. The difference remains unchanged. No insect moves through it. Farther out, the open land remains wide and quiet. The sense of distance stays gentle. The hills beyond continue to rest against the sky. Their slopes remain soft and unbroken. The sky holds its depth without movement. Stars remain fixed. No cloud interrupts their spacing. Near the stream, the sound of water remains low and steady. It neither grows nor fades. The water slides past stones without disturbance. Reflections stretch and settle without breaking. A fallen branch near the bank rests half in shadow, half in light. It does not roll or shift. The soil along the bank stays dark and compact. Across the water, the opposite shore remains undisturbed. No mark appears. The bridge remains still. Its structure holds without sound. The shadow beneath it remains smooth. Beyond the bridge, the path remains empty. It does not invite movement. In the barn, the quiet warmth remains contained. Breathing continues evenly. Bodies remain settled into straw. No hoof shifts. No ear flicks. The roof beams above remain firm. Dust rests without falling. The air inside stays calm. Near the center of the village, the well remains unchanged. The stone rim stays cool. The rope rests against the stone without tension. The bucket remains dark and still. No echo rises from below. Nearby, a small stack of stones remains arranged. Each stone touches the next lightly.
No stone tips or slides. A wooden signpost stands at the edge of the square. Its markings remain faint and unread. The post remains upright. The ground beneath it stays firm. The watchman remains seated, neither alert nor asleep. His presence remains neutral. The lantern beside him continues its steady glow. The flame does not waver. Shadows remain soft and consistent. No thought interrupts the moment. Inside the inn, the rooms remain quiet. Doors stay closed. The stair remains empty. Upstairs, sleepers remain undisturbed. Breathing continues slowly. Blankets rise and fall gently. Downstairs, tables remain aligned. Benches remain pushed in. The floor remains clean and still. In another house, a shelf holds a folded garment. The cloth remains smooth. A pair of boots rests beneath the shelf. They remain side by side. No foot reaches for them. A window nearby remains closed. The latch stays secure. Outside, the night air continues unchanged. No breeze passes through the streets. The village remains held in this moment, without effort and without pause, as the quiet stretches evenly across stone, wood, earth, and water, continuing on in the same gentle way, moment after moment, with nothing beginning and nothing ending.
The quiet keeps its balance, neither leaning forward nor pulling back. It stays exactly where it is. Near the far end of the road, a shallow dip in the ground holds a trace of shadow. The shadow does not deepen. It remains light and steady. A small tuft of grass grows at the edge of the dip. Each blade stands still. No blade bends or lifts. The road surface nearby feels cool and even. Fine dust rests undisturbed. A stone set into the road shows a smooth face. Its edges remain rounded by time. Along the roadside, a low stone marker rests half buried. Its top remains visible. It does not sink further. Beyond it, the land opens gently. The transition from road to field remains soft. The field holds its quiet shape. Rows remain straight and unbroken. Leaves rest against one another lightly. Their contact remains unchanged. The soil beneath them stays firm and dark. No sound passes through the field. Farther out, a lone tree stands with branches spread evenly. Each branch holds its place. Leaves remain layered, catching light without movement. The trunk feels solid and cool. At its base, roots disappear into the ground without disturbance. The sky above remains clear and open. Stars hold their positions. The space between them stays constant. No glow shifts across the horizon. Near the stream, the water continues its gentle slide. The sound remains low and even. Small ripples form and fade in the same pattern. Light stretches across the surface without breaking. A smooth stone beneath the water reflects a soft shape. The reflection does not waver. The bank remains intact. Grass along the edge stays upright. No footprint appears. The bridge remains empty. Its rails feel cool and steady. The wood does not creak. Beneath the bridge, the shadow remains consistent. Beyond it, the path continues without interruption. Its surface stays smooth. In the barn, the warmth remains settled. Breathing continues quietly. Bodies remain at rest. No shift occurs. Straw holds its shape beneath them. The air inside stays calm. Back toward the village center, the houses remain unchanged. Walls hold their form. Windows remain dark and reflective. Doors remain closed. A narrow step outside one door remains clean and dry. No mark appears.
A broom rests against a wall nearby. Its bristles remain aligned. No hand reaches for it. The well remains still. The stone rim stays cool. The rope hangs quietly. The bucket remains dark. No sound rises from below. The open space around the well remains empty. No movement crosses it. The watchman remains where he is. His posture does not change. The lantern's light remains soft and steady. Shadows remain gentle and familiar. Inside the inn, the air remains still. Furniture stays aligned. No sound travels through the rooms. Upstairs, sleepers remain undisturbed. Breathing remains slow and even. Blankets continue their gentle rise and fall. In another house, a candle rests unlit. Wax remains smooth. The wick stays straight. A table beneath the candle remains clear. A chair beside it remains steady. Outside, the road remains empty. No step approaches. The village continues to rest in the same quiet state, held evenly across every surface and space, with nothing changing and nothing needing to change, as the calm remains complete and uninterrupted.
The calm does not thin or gather. It stays level, spread gently across the village without effort. Near the edge of the square, the ground feels firm beneath the quiet. Small grains of dust rest where they settled earlier, unchanged. No mark appears among them. A short wooden post stands nearby, worn smooth along its top. The surface remains cool. It does not warm or chill further. Beside the post, a flat stone lies flush with the ground. Its edges remain rounded. It does not tilt or sink. The air around the square feels balanced, neither cool nor warm. It holds still without pressure. A narrow street leading away from the square remains empty. Its stones lie flat and even. Shadows fall softly along the edges of the stones. Their shapes remain consistent. A low doorway along the street stays closed. The wood feels solid and quiet. The handle does not move. The hinges remain silent. Inside, the room beyond the door remains unchanged. The floor stays smooth. The walls hold the darkness gently. A folded blanket rests on a bench. Its edges remain neat. Nothing stirs the fabric. Outside again, the street continues toward the outer houses. The path remains familiar and calm. A gutter along the side holds a thin line of water. The surface stays smooth. No ripple disturbs it. The wall above the gutter remains firm, stones pressed together evenly. A faint line of moss clings between two stones. It does not spread or shrink. Above the wall, a roof line stretches into the night. Tiles remain aligned. No tile shifts. The sky above stays open and still. Stars remain distant and steady. The space between them feels quiet and unchanged. Farther down the street, a small courtyard opens between buildings. The ground remains bare and smooth. A wooden crate rests against one wall. Its boards remain tight. No lid lifts. No sound comes from within. Nearby, a clay jug stands upright. Its surface remains cool. The opening stays dark. The courtyard remains empty. Beyond it, the street narrows slightly. The narrowing feels gentle, not abrupt. The stones remain even underfoot. No step presses them. At the edge of the village, a simple gate stands open. Its wooden bars remain still. The hinges do not creak. Beyond the gate, the path continues into open land. It remains clear and unused. Grass along the path stands upright. Blades remain separate and calm. No breeze moves through them. Farther out,
The fields stretch wide and quiet. Rows remain straight. Leaves touch lightly without movement. The soil beneath stays dark and compact. No sound crosses the field. The hills beyond remain softly outlined against the sky. Their shapes do not change. No shadow shifts along their slopes. Near the stream, the water continues its slow, even flow. The sound remains low and constant. Light rests across the surface without breaking. Small stones beneath the water remain visible. The current slides past them evenly. Along the bank, the earth remains firm. Grass holds its shape. A fallen leaf rests near the edge. It does not turn. The bridge above remains empty. Its structure feels steady and quiet. No footstep crosses it. The shadow beneath remains smooth and undisturbed. Beyond the bridge, the path remains unused. Its surface stays even. In the barn, the warmth remains settled and contained. Breathing continues quietly. Bodies remain at rest. Straw remains pressed into place. The wooden beams above stay firm. Dust rests without falling. The air inside remains calm. Back in the village center, the well remains unchanged. The stone rim stays cool. Moisture rests lightly on its surface without dripping. The rope remains slack. The bucket remains still. No sound rises from below. Nearby, a low bench rests against a wall. Its surface remains smooth. No one sits upon it. A small lantern hangs above the bench, unlit. Its glass remains clear. The metal frame stays cool. Across the square, the inn remains quiet. The door stays closed. The sign above hangs without sway. Inside, the rooms remain orderly. Tables stay aligned. Chairs remain pushed in. The floor remains clean and silent. Upstairs, sleepers remain undisturbed. Breathing remains slow and even. Blankets rise and fall gently. In another house, a shelf holds a single book. Its cover remains closed. The pages inside stay still. A candle beside the book remains unlit. Wax stays smooth. The wick remains straight. Outside, the road remains empty. No sound travels along it. A shallow curve in the road remains familiar and calm. The stones along the curve remain flat. No shadow shifts. The watchman remains seated near the edge of the square. His posture does not change. His presence remains steady and neutral. The lantern beside him continues its soft glow. The flame remains stable. Shadows remain gentle and unchanged. No thought interrupts the quiet. The night continues without effort, holding the village in the same even stillness. Stone, wood, earth, and water remain exactly as they are, moment after moment, without beginning and without end, as nothing moves and nothing needs to move.
The stillness holds its shape without strain. It remains spread evenly, neither drifting nor settling further. Near the watchman's feet, the ground feels cool and firm. Fine dust rests undisturbed. No footprint forms beside it. A small stone near the dust shows a pale edge. The edge remains smooth and unchanged. The air around the square feels balanced. It does not press against the skin. It does not withdraw. The lantern's light continues to rest gently on the ground. The circle of light keeps its size. Shadows remain soft at the edges. They do not sharpen or fade. The watchman's hands rest loosely. They do not tighten or shift. His breathing remains slow and even. Across the square, the walls of the houses hold the night quietly. Their surfaces feel cool and settled.
A narrow ledge beneath one window holds nothing. Dust rests there evenly. The window glass reflects darkness without distortion. Inside the house, the room remains still. A table stands near the wall. Its surface remains bare. A cup rests upside down at the center. Its rim touches the wood lightly. A chair remains pushed in. Its back stays straight. The floor beneath remains silent. Outside, the road continues past the square. Its surface remains smooth and worn. Small stones embedded in it catch faint light. Their positions do not change. The road stretches toward the outer edge of the village. The distance remains gentle. Along one side of the road, a shallow ditch runs parallel. Its edges remain clean. A thin line of moisture rests at the bottom. It does not move. Grass along the ditch stands upright. Blades remain separate. No insect passes through them. Beyond the road, the open land remains quiet. The fields hold their alignment. Rows remain straight and even. Leaves overlap softly without sound. The soil beneath remains dark and compact. Farther out, the hills continue to rest against the sky. Their slopes remain smooth. No shadow shifts across them. The sky remains clear and deep. Stars hold their positions. The space between them remains unchanged. Near the stream, the water continues its slow, steady motion. The sound remains low. Reflections stretch evenly across the surface. A stone beneath the water shows a pale shape. The shape does not waver. Along the bank, the ground remains firm. Grass stays rooted and still. A reed near the edge stands upright. It does not bend. The bridge above remains empty. Its rails feel cool and steady. No step presses the wood. The shadow beneath remains smooth. Beyond the bridge, the path remains unused. Its surface stays even. In the barn, the warmth remains settled. Breathing continues quietly. Bodies remain at rest. Straw remains pressed into place. The beams above stay firm. Dust rests without falling. The air inside remains calm. Back in the village, the well remains unchanged. The stone rim stays cool. Moisture rests lightly on its surface. The rope remains slack. The bucket remains still. No sound rises from below. Nearby, a wooden bucket rests against a wall. Its handle remains down. The wood feels dry and settled. A low step beside the bucket remains clean. No mark appears. Across the square, the inn remains closed. The door stays secure. The sign above hangs motionless. Inside, the rooms remain quiet. Furniture stays aligned. No sound travels through the halls. Upstairs, sleepers remain undisturbed. Breathing continues slowly. Blankets rise and fall gently. In another house, a curtain hangs straight beside a window. It does not stir. Moonlight touches the fabric softly. The window remains closed. The latch stays firm. Outside, the road remains empty. No sound approaches. The curve of the road remains familiar and calm. Nothing enters the village. Nothing leaves it. The night continues in this same even way, holding every surface and space without effort, as the quiet remains complete and interrupted, moment after moment, exactly as it is.
The quiet remains unbroken, resting evenly across every corner of the village. It does not gather or thin. It simply stays. Near the edge of the square, a small stone rests against the base of a wall. Its surface is smooth, cool, and unchanged. Dust around it remains undisturbed. A narrow line where the stone meets the earth stays dark and steady. No footstep crosses it, no shadow shifts. The wall behind the stone remains firm. Its surface holds the cool of night without change. Mortar lines remain thin and silent. Above the wall, roof tiles sit evenly. Their edges do not lift or tilt. Moonlight touches them softly, but does not alter their warmth or form. The street beside the wall remains empty. Stones are flat and worn smooth. Small patches of moss cling to the cracks, steady and motionless. A gutter runs along the side of the street. Water rests quietly within it. Its surface is smooth and unbroken. No ripple disturbs the thin line of reflection. The air along the street remains even. It does not drift or press. It holds without weight, neither warm nor cool. A narrow doorway along the street stays closed. Its wooden surface is firm. The handle does not move. Hinges do not creak. Inside, the room beyond remains still. A table stands at the center. Its surface is bare and flat. A chair rests beside it. Its back is straight, and its legs remain firm on the floor. Nothing moves within the room. Outside again, the street curves gently toward the outer houses. The bend remains calm and familiar. Shadows cast along the edges remain soft and even. A low fence runs parallel to the street. Posts stand upright. Rails remain aligned. No hand touches them. The fields beyond remain wide and quiet. Rows of crops stand straight and even. Leaves rest against each other without movement. The soil beneath remains dark and firm. No animal crosses it. Farther out, hills rise gently against the sky. Their shapes remain soft and consistent. Shadows across the slopes remain unchanged. The sky above stays deep and still. Stars hold their positions, distant and fixed. No cloud passes between them. Near the stream, the water continues its slow, even flow. Ripples form gently and fade without disturbance. Reflections stretch across the surface without breaking. Stones beneath the water remain visible, unmoved. The bank remains firm. Grass along the edge holds its shape. A fallen leaf rests lightly and does not turn. The bridge above remains empty. Its structure is firm. Rails feel cool and steady. No step presses against the wood. The shadow beneath remains smooth. Beyond the bridge, the path continues unused. Its surface stays even. Small stones embedded in it remain unmoved. In the barn, warmth remains steady. Breathing continues quietly and evenly. Bodies remain at rest. Straw remains pressed into place. Beams above stay firm. Dust rests without falling. The air inside remains calm and even. Back at the village center, the well remains unchanged. The stone rim stays cool. Moisture rests lightly on its surface. The ripple remains slack. The bucket rests dark and still. No sound rises from below. Nearby, a wooden bench rests against a wall. Its surface remains smooth. A lantern above it hangs unlit. Glass remains clear. Metal feels cool. Across the square, the inn remains closed. Doors stay secure. Signs hang motionless. Inside, rooms remain quiet. Tables and chairs remain aligned. Floors remain smooth and still. Upstairs, sleepers remain undisturbed. Blankets rise and fall slowly and evenly. In another house, a curtain hangs straight beside a window. It does not stir. Moonlight touches it softly.
The window remains closed. The latch stays firm. Outside, the road remains empty. No sound approaches. The curve of the road remains familiar and calm. Nothing enters. Nothing leaves. The night continues evenly, holding the village in complete stillness across stone, wood, earth, and water, exactly as it is, moment after moment, without change, without effort, without interruption.
The stillness remains deep, settled across the village as if it has taken root in every surface. Nothing gathers, nothing lifts. It simply exists, even and complete. Near the edge of the square, a worn cobblestone rests flat. Its surface is cool, smooth, and unchanged. Fine dust gathers gently in the small crevices between stones. No footstep disturbs it. A thin line of shadow runs along one edge of the stone. The shadow does not shift. It holds its place quietly. The wall beside the stone remains firm. Mortar lines are thin and intact. The surface of the wall feels even, neither warmer nor colder than the air around it. Above the wall, the roof tiles remain aligned. Their edges do not lift. Moonlight brushes across them gently, soft and even. The tiles absorb no heat, cast no reflection. The street that runs beside the wall stays empty. Stones are smooth, worn over time and flat. A narrow line of moss clings to the cracks. Its green remains muted, unchanging. A shallow gutter runs alongside the street. Water rests in it quietly. Its surface is smooth, unbroken and reflective. No ripple crosses it. The air along the street feels even. It does not drift or press. It stays steady, neither cool nor warm, neutral and complete. A narrow doorway along the street remains closed. Its wooden surface is firm. The handle does not move. Hinges remain silent. Inside, the room beyond remains still. A wooden table stands at the center, its surface clear and flat. A chair rests beside it. Its back is straight. Its legs press firmly against the floor. Nothing stirs. Outside again, the street curves gently toward the outer houses. The bend remains calm, familiar, unchanged. Shadows along the street edges remain soft. A low fence runs parallel to the street. Posts stand upright. Rails remain aligned. Nothing touches them. The fields beyond remain wide and quiet. Crops stand straight and even. Leaves rest against one another without motion. The soil beneath them remains dark and compact. No animal crosses it. No sound comes from it. Farther out, the hills rise gently against the sky. Their contours remain soft and smooth. Shadows across the slopes remain constant. The sky remains deep and still. Stars hold their positions, distant and fixed. No cloud moves between them. Near the stream, water continues its slow, even flow. Ripples form briefly and fade. The surface remains smooth and reflective. Stones beneath the water remain unmoved. Their shapes do not shift. The bank remains firm. Grass holds its form. A fallen leaf rests lightly near the water's edge. It does not turn or float. The bridge above remains empty. Its rails feel cool and steady. No footstep presses the wood. The shadow beneath it stays smooth. Beyond the bridge, the path remains unused. Small stones embedded in it remain unmoved. The surface remains even and familiar. In the barn, warmth remains contained. Breathing continues quietly. Bodies remain at rest. Straw stays pressed into place. Beams above remain firm. Dust rests without falling. The air inside is calm and still. Back in the village center, the well remains unchanged. The stone rim is cool. Moisture rests lightly on its surface. The rope hangs slack. The bucket remains dark and still. No sound rises from below. Nearby, a wooden bench rests against a wall. Its surface is smooth. A lantern above it hangs unlit.
Glass is clear, metal feels cool. Across the square, the inn remains closed, doors stay secure, signs hang motionless. Inside, rooms remain quiet, furniture remains aligned, floors remain smooth and still. Upstairs, sleepers remain undisturbed, blankets rise and fall slowly, breathing is calm and even. In another house, a curtain hangs straight beside a window. It does not stir. Moonlight touches it gently. The window remains closed. The latch stays firm. Outside, the road remains empty. No sound approaches. The curve of the road remains familiar. Shadows remain soft and unchanged. Nothing enters, nothing leaves. Near the edge of the road, a small wooden post holds its place. Its top is smooth, worn by time. Dust rests lightly on it. The post does not tilt. Beside it, a small stone lies flat. Its edges are rounded. It does not move. The air remains balanced and still. It presses gently against walls, trees, and earth, but does not shift or gather. Beyond the village, fields stretch wide and quiet. Rows of crops stand straight. Leaves touch without motion. The soil beneath them stays firm. A wooden fence marks the boundary. Posts stand upright. Rails are steady. No hand reaches them. Hills in the distance keep their soft contours. Shadows remain unchanged. The sky above remains deep. Stars remain fixed. The space between them is constant. Near the stream, water continues its slow, even flow. Ripples form briefly and fade. The surface remains smooth and reflective. Stones beneath the water remain unmoved. Their shapes do not shift. The bank remains firm. Grass holds its form. A fallen leaf rests lightly near the water's edge. It does not turn or float. The bridge above remains empty. Its rails feel cool and steady. No footstep presses the wood. The shadow beneath it stays smooth.